Apparently, they've wasted time listening to this show enough for it to chart on their Spotify end of year.
We've ended up on people's Spotify Wrapped, and I have no idea how.
But seriously, to everyone who's been in touch with us before this recording say, you guys are my most listened to thing on Spotify Wrapped this year. Thanks. That's awesome. Thank you very much.
I'm going to see what my most listened thing on Spotify Wrapped is right now as we speak.
I've not actually looked mine up, but I know what it's going to be.
It's making sounds.
No, copyright sounds. I better know what mine is. Do you think you know what yours is?
Podcast-wise?
Yeah.
You're wrong about it'll be, probably.
Probs, fam.
Okay, my Wrapped is here. 249, what? I discovered 249 new artists this year. I'm not sure how it measures that.
Yeah, I guess it's just like plays that you've not done in previous years. I discovered 133 new artists this year.
I listened to 234 genres, including 103 new ones. What?
Yeah, 135 new genres for me, 82 new ones. What were your top genres?
From 5 to 1, pop punk, soundtrack, new metal, metal and rock.
Oh, from 5 to 1, soundtrack, pop, show tunes, hip hop and modern rock.
Okay. Top song was Cerise by Ghost.
Ooh, okay. Mine was the Sia, Miguel and Queen Latifah cover of Satisfied from the Hamilton mixtape.
Of course. Sure.
That's the only praise Sia will be getting on this podcast this week.
Yeah, well, yeah. Or in any podcast. Other songs I had on repeat. These were all songs I would have been learning. Aces High by Iron Maiden, Square Hammer by Ghost, TaYes by Ghost, 2 Minutes to Midnight by Iron Maiden. Yeah, all songs I was playing at some point on guitar.
All five of mine from the Hamilton mixtape.
Yep. Cool. Sure.
God.
It's asking me to guess my top podcast of the year, and I'm going to guess you're wrong about.
Oh, where's it saying that for you? What slide's that on?
It brings it up after your thing is, but yeah, I listened to 103 episodes for a total of 6,674 minutes. I spent 37,564 minutes listening to podcasts this year. And the top 5 were All Killer No Filler, The Giant Bomb Cast, Red Handed, Waypoint Radio, and You're Wrong About.
Okay. The artists most by my side this year were Lin-Manuel Miranda, Sega Nakanola, and Eminem.
Cool.
So, I'll take that.
Cool.
And the top artists I listened to were Eminem, Doctor Who, that'll be my Big Finish binge earlier in the year, Sega Nakanola, Lin-Manuel Miranda, and Ghost. So we've crossed the streams there.
Yeah, that sounds all right. Which decade did I play the most? 1980s. Who was by my side? What? I don't know.
I didn't get a podcast one. I guess I must be listening to mine on Apple more than.
Yeah, well, yeah, I exclusively listen to Spotify.
For those just tuning in for the first time, hi, this is a podcast where two hosts are just going to look at the Spotify Wrapped for 10 minutes. Welcome to the Big Damn Cast, nerdy news, geeky gossip, stuff that's fit to fill your time till we all inevitably spiral into an early grave. My name is Chris, go on Bojo, take it on live TV, Johnson.
And my name is, who'd have thunk that John Carpenter would be my number 5 most listened artist of the year? I
mean, I would. If anybody on the planet would have John Carpenter in their top 5, it'd be you. To celebrate, I'm going to pour out this party pack of M&Ms.
Oh, yeah! Give me that party pack of M&Ms.
Oh,
wait. What, are those just regular M&Ms?
Yeah, I don't like peanut butter.
What the fuck are you
doing?
Or
peanuts.
What about crispy? What about crispy M&Ms?
These are crispy enough. They've got a shell.
No, just plain M&Ms?
Yeah.
You vanilla fuck.
No, chocolate.
You're getting the thumbs down here. I hope you know that.
Oh. That's fine. It means more of the filthy, dirty ones for you guys. I'll stick to the plainies.
Yeah.
I'll stick to the plainies, boys and girls. What's coming up in this week's episode? We're going to be talking a little bit about Mando, Chapter 13, Doctor Who, and the podcast relevancy obliterating trailer that it released the night of our podcast.
Yes, fun.
About how there was no trailer.
Fun
Thanks,
for all.
folks.
Cheers for that.
You swines. What else are we going to talk about this week? What's on your mind,
the
beautiful boy?
Probably the biggest news of the last 24 hours really has been Elliot Page, actor Elliot Page, coming out as a transgender man, and yeah, awesome, cool. It's really a really heartfelt post from him, sort of explaining how he feels about everything and how sort of is going to be continuing to be, you know, very visible and active as an activist, and also highlighting that it's a very the trans community, particularly the black and Latinx.
I say Latinx.
I only ever see it written.
Please correct us if we're wrong, folks. In the
I always see it written and never know how to say it. The black and Latinx sort of parts of that community in particular are subject to real hatred and violence, like murders even. Yeah. So it's really awesome that he is, you know, standing as a sort of a figurehead for those people, and I think
helping to more legitimize transgender individuals and their lifestyles to the mainstream who may yet not have taken the time to engage and start conversations and learn.
Yeah, especially when the mainstream is being bombarded by people who are using their platform to sort of denounce the existence of these people and delegitimize them.
Oh shit! Did you see that Graham Linehan returned to Twitter this week?
No,
pretending to be a gay trans man.
What?
Yeah, who then outed himself to one of his critics as being him, and then of course people were like, right, well, bye then.
What?
He confessed to buying a new SIM card just so he could get past the ban. That man used to be one of the most celebrated comedy writers in the United Kingdom and Ireland, and now is known as a transphobe who's lost his kids, lost his wife, and lost his platform.
Lost his marbles by the fucking sound of it.
Yeah.
Jesus, that's like...
Imagine taking your platform and just using it to be hateful. What the fuck? Like, why?
Imagine taking your entire career and just putting a torch to it.
Yeah.
Just putting a fucking match to it and saying, you know what? It can all burn. This is the hill I want to die on. It's like, all right, well, see ya.
Meanwhile, Elliot Page using his platform to actually like spread awareness, educate, celebrate his identity and his, like, you know, is it coming out or is it like coming to terms with yourself? I guess like
he described it as coming out.
Coming out, yeah. So it's a statement, and it's the internet wonderfully seemed to be like, for the first time, like 90% in the, oh my god, this is awesome, amazing for you, thank you so much, like, for doing this, and we're here for you, and we can't wait to see what you do next, and this is amazing. And
it's very much in the sort of, certainly the circles we move in are very much a sort of echo chamber of acceptance, but there is definitely a very positive reaction to this. And I think it's interesting from a visibility standpoint, and sort of exciting to see someone who has already had an incredibly successful career while, you know, very much still in the public eye and working, do something as sort of hugely affecting as coming out and transitioning, because now you've got the idea of, okay, well, how do you how do you respectfully refer to the body of work that Elliot Page had sort of accrued pre-transition?
Yeah.
I know Netflix have been out there saying that they're going to change all his credits.
Good.
That they can.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because,
yeah.
of course, he's still going to be involved in the upcoming third season of Umbrella Academy.
Mm-hmm. There's already been discussions because the character that he plays in that is female, yes?
Yes.
So the discussion has already been like, will the character transition? Like, are they going to become more non-binary or gender fluid so that, there's less of a butting of heads in terms of like what would have to change or be tweaked in that.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to lose Elliot in the role.
No.
So
No.
it's maybe what you do is you make the character more gender ambiguous, or you even transition the character and you keep them around.
Yeah.
In that way, in which case then you're giving transgender individuals even more of a platform and a positive platform by being like, oh look, a transgender character in a show that already has a giant following.
Yeah. Representation in fiction is also important.
I've seen points made. A friend of the show, Mr. TaYes, Trilby Reviews, asked respectfully on Twitter the other night about it, saying, when it comes to referring to the previous body of work, what would people say is the correct way to do it? And lots of wonderful people came forward and were just like, hey, great question. So here's what I think. Members of the transgender community and allies alike were like, here's my take on it. But the general consensus seemed to be, Elliot is Elliot. Because Elliot always was Elliot. That's the point.
Yes.
So whenever you're referring to Elliot is he, or they if you're using just more of a common parlance
he or
referring
they.
to an individual.
It's in his statement, his pronouns are he and they.
So that is what that is now. The characters, if they were female characters, of course you would refer to the character as she, her.
Yeah.
But not Elliot. And that's how you go forward. People will make mistakes. Folks who listen to this, I know we have many listeners who are in the LGBTQ plus community. I know we have several listeners who I've spoken to who are transgender. Have patience with people about this, because this is the first sort of big mainstream example of this that has been sort of taken note of by the world at large. Have patience. Some people will get it wrong and not mean any ill by it.
I would
give them a bit of time. Be encouraging. I know that's a tough thing to be like, hey, you've had to battle with all this shite for all your life, or for like ever since you've transitioned. Have patience with everyone else. I know that might be a frustrating statement, but I don't mean it in like a just calm down. People will figure. I just mean like be a little, hold everyone's hand a little, just for a bit.
Yeah. Well, my attitude,
they'll make mistakes, and they won't mean to make mistakes. They'll get it right, and
with these things has always been just sort of just like go forward in good faith and then listen if someone corrects you.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, that the reciprocation of that relationship is people who are going to make mistakes need to listen and not be shitty about it. Because if you make a mistake, you go, "Oh, I'm really sorry. I meant that," and then you move on. Don't be a dick about it, and listen to the transgender community when they educate you on this stuff.
I came across a thread on Facebook where someone was asking an apparently innocent question about what was going to happen with Elliot's character in Umbrella Academy, but consistently using the wrong pronouns.
Yeah. The best combat to that I've seen on Twitter the last couple of days has been people just correcting the tweet with just he.
Well,
just putting he underneath to try and really enforce that. No,
the problem is
that
this person, in response to everyone correcting them, would just steamroll over it and be like, "I'm asking an honest question. I'm not being hateful or ignorant. I'm just asking an honest question," and just continue to use the wrong pronouns.
They are being
you are
hateful
using the wrong
it.
pronouns. You either don't understand what you're doing, in which case you're stupid because people keep telling you, or you are deliberately being obtuse about it.
Yeah.
So those are the kind of interactions you want to kind of avoid. But as I say, my attitude to these kind of things, to sort of learning how to negotiate people's choice of people's pronouns, and people's gender identity and sort of recognizing that is to just go forward in good faith, and if someone corrects you, then apologize and listen and go forward. So that's the kind of
equally, if we in this discussion so far have misworded or mishandled a certain explanation, let us know that we have, because we'd like to obviously get it right going forward. And like I say, have patience with people. I know that's a lot to ask after all the shit you put up with all the time anyway, but just give them a moment, because this might be the biggest pivot that will actually start to get people listening now.
Oh, that's what I mean. I think this is a really intriguing and brave thing to do in such a public way, because if you think about it, we've not really seen such a forward-facing public figure transition like this. It's not the people who like. Of course, Caitlyn Jenner was probably the most high-profile before this, but again,
when it comes to that, it's about audiences, specific fan bases, the muddied water of their history with a bloody hit and run case,
but also
all these things.
Like,
where it's like,
Caitlyn,
there was that weird message of, this is a high profile person, we should absolutely use this to celebrate and learn, but also this person's got some really horrible skeletons in their closet. Should we really be holding them a lot? Whereas Elliot has always been an activist, a proponent, a force for good, and very open and honest about their industry and the way they've been treated because of their sexuality and things like that. So
again, the biggest difference there, though, is that Caitlyn Jenner's transition came at a point where her sports career was already over.
Yeah.
And basically she wasn't really a public figure anymore until the Keeping Up with the Kardashians brought her back to the forefront. And then after that, brought her back to the forefront, then she came out and transitioned. Whereas this is someone in the full flow of their career, in a very public-facing
The reason we keep mentioning
role.
Umbrella Academy is because they're there's a whole new generation discovering their work right now because of Netflix and engaging with them in an ongoing series.
Yeah.
So they, my apologies, are at the absolute top.
Yeah.
Every eye is on what Elliot is about to do and is doing, and that is good.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna, like we say, showcase the transgender life and the things they have to put up with and have to deal with in terms of scrutiny and prejudices. But right now, the outlook on Elliot's announcement has been overwhelmingly positive.
Just a tremendously positive reaction.
As it should be. And power to him. And I wish him all the best. And I hope this is, like I said, I hope this is the pivot toward a more positive social climate for members of the trans community. Because Lord knows that they deserve a freaking break from the shit that's thrown at them all the time.
Come on. And,
fingers crossed.
As someone who's always been a fan of his work, it'd be really intriguing to see what he does next and sort of what opportunities this... I think it'll be interesting to see what opportunities this opens for him, and very telling about the attitude of the industry as to what opportunities it closes off.
Yeah. Something to look out for.
I think we might see a bit of a uglier side to the industry and the sort of the myth of acceptance, or the myth of not acceptance, as may be, as we go forward. So, brave, a really fucking brave thing to do when you're such a public facing figure. So I to sort of have that huge life change on the world stage in front of everyone. It's incredible. So awesome. It's just a really thing.
Did we just open the show with a really lovely story about something really cool?
Opened the show with positivity. Now let's talk about Doctor Who.
Grab your sweeties, everyone. We're going in.
Well, first off, I wanna dig into a little email we got.
Oh,
our good friend,
BBC Worldwide saying cease and desist.
Stop. Our good friend who continues to put up with us. I have no idea why. Ian
Ian.
comes in and says, they talk about Revolution of the Daleks. This is last week's podcast before the trailer came out. Seemed to miss the first promotional pictures, which were released, I think, October the 8th. And it's the Doctor with the tally marks on the wall of the prison cell. Apparently the Doctor can't tally the mark properly because she's got them in... It's... Correct me if I'm wrong, but tally marks are 1, 2, 3, 4 and then cross for 5.
Yes.
Fuck knows what she's doing there. Is she doing tenths? Who knows? They're in like... It's like 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's 8 vertical lines and then she's crossing them.
We're counting numerically. So but she's using rels.
Oh, she's using... Oh, okay. So, because Daleks. Sure.
Yeah. That is strange, but hey, the Doctor's an alien. Like, sure, why not? Like, fine. Bit weird. But...
Anyway, the pictures now seem prophetic as it's what we look like, having gotten a handful of spoilers for Series 13, yet no actual info on the upcoming special. Again, this all came in before the trailer dropped, and the release date announcement. If this is how fans feel, how would the general public feel, especially as to them? This is the first return of the Daleks and Captain Jack Harkness in 13's era. Most of the marketing is also seeming to imply this. I think I'll just save my issues with why I'm disinterested for Big Damn Stream as this email's getting long enough. So yeah, come and join Big Damn Stream because Ian's always there and he's always got lots to say. I should watch the performance from my normal seat in Box 5, which will be kept empty for me should these commands be ignored. A disaster beyond your imagination will occur. Fucking love it. I love it, of course.
Wait, you have box seating for when you're doing your streams?
It's Phantom. I remain, gentlemen, your obedient servant. I am.
God, that got really fucking
Fantastic.
nerdy toward the end.
Love it. I didn't realise it until halfway through, that's why I didn't do the voice. Didn't sing it.
That was cute.
So fuck me. So yeah, of course, since that, I'm sure we mentioned the promo pics as sort of like how disappointing the marketing had been, but yeah, that doesn't matter. The point is, there was a certain lack of hype, and then all of a sudden, clearly we fixed it because it was in the wake of our podcast that the release date was announced and the trailer came out. So clearly it was our clamouring for some hype that actually got them to get off their ass and do something. Yeah, we
got a teaser graphic clip thing that was just the logo and then trailer 27th of November. It was like
29th.
Oh, 29th of November. It's like,
yeah.
Okay. All right. Sure.
Okay. Sure.
Are they doing that because of the backlash on the anniversary date, or
probably
are they doing it because that was always the plan? And I've seen arguments for both, and
it's a crap
it's
plan,
all
though.
speculation.
If the 23rd is the 67th anniversary of the show, 57th. Fucking
57th.
57th anniversary of the show.
Matt Watson wishing his life away there, boys and girls.
Yeah, aren't I just? Then why would you release the trailer for the next episode on the 29th?
Or at the very least,
like, it just the 23rd's right there.
At the very least, drop that teaser saying trailer coming December 1st. Do you know what I mean? Something like that where you're like, oh, we have a week to wait.
Yeah.
And then we get the trailer.
I just thought it was a bit crap, to be honest. The trailer, on the other hand, I mean,
we've not talked about this. Let's see what we both think. Revolution of the Daleks. What do you think?
I'm not particularly interested in an episode of Doctor Who without the Doctor.
Same.
Which it looks like it's gonna be. It looks like, the Doctor's in prison and Captain Jack, Graham, Yaz and Ryan have to take on the Daleks.
Admittedly, cool looking sequence where Yaz is taking on a full-on tentacly squid Dalek scuttling around like a green lab thing.
I'm loving the idea of
Chibnall really reinforcing in his two Dalek stories that No, the mutants,
Yeah.
the scariest thing.
I'm really loving the sort of the Dalek mutants getting out of the machines and moving around and being a threat on their own. That's a neat thing. Like, you know what I mean? I love a bit of creature feature. But basically, it just looks like it's a modern update of Victory of the Daleks.
Yeah.
Like,
my first thought was, we've seen it. We've seen this.
The Prime Minister's using Daleks and
Evil of the Daleks.
Yeah.
Victory of the Daleks. We've seen this.
Oh, these are new defense drones that are going to defend our, going to uphold peace and law and order. And, fake Donald Trump, as played by Chris Noth, is in it as well.
Yeah.
So, and it's just...
Wouldn't that character be less grown-worthy had he not made a reference to Trump in Arachnids in the UK? Had they just left out the reference to Trump, I think it would have been a less sickly, because we all would have just gone, oh, he's kind of like Trump. And that would have been the end of it. And then in the episode, they make a point of saying, like, oh, you like Donald Trump? And he's like, how dare you compare me to him? And it's like, wait, what?
But you are, though.
What? But you are, though. Like, huh?
I feel like that is the kind of
odd
thing that Donald Trump would say if he compared him to himself.
Yeah, but it's also the fact that Trump got referenced, if I remember correctly, Trump got referenced in the Capaldi era.
Probably.
As well. And it's like, Lucy and I are doing this massive rewatch of the show, and as of this recording, our next story is the Christmas invasion.
Yeah.
We're saving it till after Christmas. We're going to wait till I get back from Leeds to carry on the marathon. But within about a year and a half, we're going to be up to the tail end of the Capaldi era. And those references are going to make me vomit. And when we get to Arachnids, it's going to be like, why are you bringing him up?
Let alone the Capaldi stories themselves.
Yeah. Now, Series 10 is great until the Monk trilogy starts, and then
if you take the Monk, if you just excise the Monk trilogy, Series 10 is pretty good. Like,
I'm blind, but don't tell anyone I'm blind. We're gonna drag this out for 3 episodes.
It's just complete fucking nonsense. But
dumb.
like Revolution. I want to see. I do like the new Dalek designs in motion. In motion. I'm not gonna lie. I
don't.
I like the Tron lines.
That's cool.
I'm digging the Tron lines.
The blue glow's nice.
And I like the sort of the slenderness of them.
See, that's why I think they're not going to stick around, because the one in Resolution, which these seem to be kind of based on, like an evolution of that design. Yeah. The one in Resolution was when they were on location, a CGI creation, so as not to spoil it.
Yes.
When in sets and controlled location environments, it was an animatronic because of how tight it was. You couldn't fit a person in that to operate it.
Yeah.
And these seem to be of a similar size. That's why I don't think they'd stick around, because it would be very expensive to have to maintain the animatronic and CGI versions constantly.
Yeah.
Whereas normally with these shows, the reason why we always see the same aliens coming back, if not in the main show, in the tie-ins and projects and marketing, things like that.
And in the background, once
they built these expensive costumes, they're going to reuse them again and again and again. That's why the Bronze Daleks have stuck around, not just because the design has been arguably, alongside, I guess, the planet / Genesis / Resurrection grey metal ones.
Yeah.
These are probably the most distinct and popular design of the Daleks ever, alongside that sort of gunmetal grey version from the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
So they've stuck around for that reason, but also because they tried a redesign, it didn't resonate with everybody, so they shit-canned it super quickly, giving these ones an even longer life. For them to completely go, nope, we're doing them all over again, these are the Daleks going forward, they'd have to do something where they can make a large group of them that they could use again and again.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're going to pay for a large group of animatronic Daleks.
No, you just put children in them.
Oh god! What, like the quarks?
Yeah,
they just be pottering around and falling over.
Maybe they're not redesigned Daleks. Maybe they're redesigned quarks.
What's really weird about
the twist?
What's really weird about that is that they're not the only child actors in the Dominators. The other ones play the collars of the Dominators. They're just like bunched on their shoulders, like try to keep them warm. They're filming in a quarry. You got to keep your actors warm. And how do you do that? You stuff children in the collars.
God, those Dominator designs are so fucking weird. Man, the 60s, the 60s were a hell of a drug.
They're not the Chumleys, are they? Let's be honest.
Oh well, what is?
The Chumleys are better.
I just want a
and friendly.
mechanoid. All I want for Christmas is a mechanoid. So,
hey Matt, have you been watching Daleks on the Doctor Who YouTube channel?
Have I? Fuck.
Moving on. So, I wouldn't be surprised if going forward, whatever the plot is, they retain maybe 2 of these ones
Yeah, that
to
makes
use.
sense. Yeah.
And then the Bronze Boys bulk out the numbers.
Bronze Boy.
There are fan theories circulating that the reason why they look like the Recon junk Dalek from last time we saw a Dalek in Resolution, and the reason why they're all glowy and blue inside and stuff, is because they're not Daleks. They are drones, and they're based on the design of the reconnaissance Dalek, based on the military footage of their tangle with the Dalek.
And their Dalek mutants are going to take them over.
Or at least go, sod that. We're the Daleks, more the truckers, because presumably the reconnaissance one, it was sending out a signal to call in reinforcements in Resolution. So it's possible those reinforcements have arrived. We know that the Bronze Daleks are involved in this because of the infamous leaked photo from like a year ago of Bronze Daleks on a bridge. So who knows? I agree with you. I was like, it's Victory of the Daleks.
Yeah, I hope it's not Victory of the Daleks again. I hope there is a twist to it like that, where they are actually like reverse engineered drones. But
you know who I'd like to see pop up in it?
Who?
More so than Trump, Mr. Big guy. I thought Lenny Henry's character was gonna rock up again.
Yeah, I feel like they want to do something more with him.
It would make sense for him to be involved in a technology-based plot.
Because doesn't he just disappear at the end of Spyfall, basically?
Yeah, he legs it, and we never hear from him again.
Seems like a bit of a loose end, that. But hey,
yeah.
Who am I to say? Are you excited to see Captain Jack back?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like the character. I like the character a lot, but I'm more excited by finding out what their plan is for him than him being in it, if that makes any sense. Like him showing up in Fugitive of the Jadoon. Sorry, confusing it with the Sarah Jane story, Prisoner of the Jadoon. There. Him showing up in Fugitive of the Jadoon was like, oh, cool. Where's this going? And then he's not in the finale, and you're like, huh. On reflection, that sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
Like, why was he there? Other than to boost mid-series ratings.
That was a very Moffat.
And get everyone watching in an episode where they then wanted everyone to go, oh my god, there's another Doctor?
Yeah.
Like, so I get it in the function of him being in mid-series. But like with Resolution to Series 11, Revolution looks like it's going to be the finale to Series 12. Like, this is...
Yeah.
Oh, you enjoyed Series 12 in the winter, in the spring? Here's a final... You know, like the Christmas Invasion to Series 1. Here's a little end-of-year boom. Here's a feature-length treat.
Do you think we might see the Fugitive Doctor then?
Not in this, but I don't think that's done.
If Joe Martin's not back next season, that'd be.
Oh no! Don't bring Joe Martin back next series. Have Jodie's Doctor's final story in a couple series time involve her having to completely wipe like her memory for the involvement in this, that, and the other to keep people safe or whatever. This, that, and the other. Regenerate into the Joe Martin incarnation, and then we pick up after the events of Fugitive of the Jadoon. Like, that's what I want. That's what I want. I don't want any. Here's a big explanation of why this happened and this. And it's like, no, we just know that like she had to be on the lam, and she did, and then we pick up after Fugitive of the Jadoon. So we don't have a post-regeneration Martin story in a traditional sense. I'd rather that. Because I don't want it to take focus away from Jodie completely if she's going to be the next incarnation, which I would like.
Yeah, I'd like that.
I'd love Jo Martin to be the next Doctor. She'd be freaking brilliant. We've already seen how great she is in the role. It's like, give her at least one full series as the Doctor, please.
Please do.
Oh my god, yes. So I don't know. The prison cell was very cabin in the woods, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did you spot the pating?
See, the thing is that it's very small. So to spot such a small ting when there's so much going on screen, it's a difficult ting.
There's a lot of Easter eggs in that cage shot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. There's a weeping angel. There is what looks like the big fuzzy weed thing from Fury from the Deep. The seaweed like creatures.
Brilliant.
It's like, have they just gone? Sod it.
Is this Shada?
What can we? Well, it looked like it at the end of Ascension of the Cybermen or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
like,
because it's built into like a planetoid.
Yeah, and that, like, sure, why not? Like, why the hell not? There's a Time Lord prison out there floating around with no prisoner in it anymore. Jadoon find it? Sure, turn it into a penal colony.
Sure, why not?
I'd be fine with that. And then Shada makes its actual first proper canonical appearance in the TV show.
Yay!
Like, there it is.
Yay!
Thus legitimizing all 70 adaptations of it.
Which one's the right one? All of them. Also, right.
In the multiverse, they're all relevant.
There was two Dalek invasions in the mid 2000s. Why doesn't anyone remember them?
Yeah, we have the Dalek. We had 4 Daleks show up in Series 2.
We had several Daleks show up because they opened the arc.
Oh yeah, because they started shooting out of the Genesis arc, didn't they? You're right. And then we had a Dalek invasion of Earth in
Stolen Earth / Journey's End.
Stolen Earth Journey's End. Now, putting on his nerd hat.
Okay, all right.
In Series 5, we learn in Victory of the Daleks, and then in Time of Angels and Flesh and Stone, that certain big events in Earth's history seem to be forgotten. In Victory of the Daleks, he's weirded out that Amy doesn't recognize a Dalek.
Yeah, of course.
Like, they invaded your world like a year ago. How do you not recognize them? And he's like, okay, that's weird. And then they move on. And then Flesh and Stone and stuff, he's doing the whole thing of like of course, this cracks, whatever's leaking out, whatever's going on with the universe, it's erasing things. And Amy's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, a giant Cyberman as tall as a skyscraper in Victorian London, and no one remembers. So, Series 5 explained away alien invasions.
Yeah.
To a point. Now, it's never cleared up after that if the end of Series 5 and the Big Bang 2 and all that stuff resets Earth's history or continuity. I mean, it seems to, considering Amy's parents are now just suddenly there. You're my tiny dad! Oh, isn't that cute? I wonder if they're ever gonna... Nope. And, so there is that. It's very much they're in trouble if they stick to that. They're in trouble if they don't stick to that kind of thing.
I think we should just go back to our usual refrain of, it's a show about time travel, continuity doesn't exist.
A throwaway line in the episode could very easily clear it up for all we know. They might just sort of go like, do people not recognize them? It's like, why would they? It's like, oh, of course, yeah, something. Yeah. What? Nothing. That's all it'd take.
Yeah, that's true.
But my thought after that was, Unit exist. They've dealt with... Oh, wait. No, they don't.
Yeah.
We found out in Resolution that due to Brexit, they've been defunded. So, you've probably got a unit personnel trying to get in touch with the government going, excuse me, right, so we have there was this house and there was a bunch of these on the grounds and we've got a thing. No one? Nothing? Okay, then. So, yeah. Sure, whatever. But I think you got it perfectly right. It's a TV show about time travel. And there'll be kids watching the show right now who've never seen Series 4 of the modern series. So,
Like, it was a decade ago at this point.
Different eras, innit? If we can live with Unit existing apparently in the 70s but also the 80s, we can deal with humanity in 2021 not having a clue what Daleks are.
There is no... Continuity is fluid at best in a show whose central conceit is time travel. and interdimensional travel, like travel between alternate. So fuck it, who cares? Speaking about television shows and continuity, Mando.
Yeah,
Mando,
the latest
Mando,
episode.
Mando.
The latest episode, Fortnite Season 5.
Yeah. The dead speak. Chapter 13.
Have you seen the Fortnite announcement?
No.
So the Galactus event has apparently finished.
Oh, cool.
Which I'm a little sad about. I'm a very casual Fortnite player, but I enjoy the Marvel landmarks hidden all over the island, and now they're going to be buggering off. So no more Sentinel Graveyard in the middle, no more Pym Particle enlarged doghouse in the middle of a field. Like all that stuff's going to go away now.
Did Galactus eat the Fortnite?
If any takeout takes a fortnight or more to deliver, then I'd put a complaint in. But the new series involves a nexus of realities, blah, 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 blah. So someone has pulled hunters and trackers from different dimensions to help find the missing shards of this thing, because they'll be the most ruthless and the best to find it. And included in this lineup of pretty much all original characters is the Mandalorian. Who you can compile because it's costume items that create him. You can compile him by finding Beskar throughout the island.
Sure.
Beskar metals. The child is in the trailer. No news yet as to whether the child is an accessory, part of an emote, or a thing that will just follow you around graphically on screen in a little cot.
I'd like that.
It would be cute, but sure. So that was our Mandalorian review this week, everybody.
Yeah.
There was also this little thing called Chapter 13, the Jedi.
Or Chapter 13, the backstory.
Yeah. Spoilers agog for the Mandalorian episode, Series 2, Episode 5. Brace your eyes, brace your holes.
It was a fucking info dump.
It was.
A good one. A really good one.
It never felt like it was just reading a Wikipedia article.
Yeah.
It always felt like... It felt mid-season, there's always a slump, traditionally. So writers and showrunners have to find a way to make the mid-series be something worth tuning in for.
Which I think is easier with a show like this, where it's a travelogue, basically.
Well, in this case, we finally figured out that the show has a format that they ain't fucking budging from.
Nope.
I wonder if that's gonna make it have diminished returns as it goes on if they stick to it. I'm a little worried about that. Like, I don't mind the idea of Stranger shows up to a new place and deals with Thing, but the plot now seems to be Stranger shows up to a place to get Thing. People won't give him Thing unless he do Thing for them. Then they don't give him Thing and he leaves. Yeah. That's getting a bit frustrating now. Like, give him some... Episode 1 this series was the only one where he got something out of it. And that was just Boba Fett's helmet.
He got a nice shiny Beskar spear in this one.
Yeah, but he didn't even want it. That's not what he wanted. He wanted to palm the child off on someone else. I'm
sorry, who?
Well, let's talk... Well, we'll get to that. Let's talk about Ahsoka Tano, not Rosario Dawson. The actress playing Ahsoka Tano did a pretty decent job, but it did make me wonder the whole time, why didn't you just use Ashley What's-Her-Face, who plays her in the animated
There's
series?
only a couple of years between them, so age-wise, it's not
She's also an actor, and, it's heavy makeup and stunt work. Like, it would have been doable. Especially when you've had Katie Sackhoff in as Bo-Katan. It's like...
It is odd.
Why not? I could understand it. Because usually characters are played by voice actors of all ages. That's part of the beauty of the profession. You're not necessarily going to have Tara Strong play Harley Quinn in anything, unless you're doing a story where Harley Quinn is in her, mid-40s. Because Tara Strong is in her mid to late 40s. She's not, super young Harley Quinn.
Mm.
So, yeah, there's a bit of disconnect there when it comes to live-action portrayals. You're not going to have Nolan North playing Nathan Drake in something. Nolan North looks much older than Nathan Drake. That's just how it is. Like, he's not a freaking old man, but he is Uncle Noli. So you got to go with that stuff. Whereas I've got to find a full name because I'm going to be so annoyed at myself. Who plays Ahsoka?
Ashley Eckstein.
Ashley Epstein. Oh, there we go. Boom. Thank you. So Ashley is, like you said, what, a couple of years younger than Rosario Dawson?
Yeah. Yeah.
And is an actor, primarily voice actor, but is an actor. The part is makeup heavy. It's in one studio. Rosario Dawson was not doing those backflips and stuff. Like, that is a stunt performer.
I think also, if you... The thing with, like, from just a aesthetics point of view, Ashley Eckstein doesn't look like Ahsoka.
But neither does Rosario Dawson. Rosario Dawson's not bright orange with, like, tentacles coming out of her head. And, like, what says that Ahsoka Tano in this has to look exactly like she did in Rebels?
Yeah, but in terms of, like,
which is what her design seemed to be mostly based off of her most recent canonical appearance.
Because, like...
Not counting the voice in Rise of Skywalker.
Ahsoka has much sharper facial features, whereas Ashley Eckstein has a much rounder and softer face.
But younger Ahsoka had a rounder and softer face. In early Clone Wars.
Kind of like sort of angular cheekbones and stuff. There's not just like the art style. That's also like the design. What you mean.
But I think my main get is like having Rosario Dawson play Ahsoka didn't necessarily add anything to Ahsoka.
No, I understand what you're saying. I'm just
because the draw was just like, oh shit, this is Ahsoka Tano in live action. Like, that was the draw.
I'm sort of just trying to work out why they did it as well. So,
cheek shaming is what you're saying.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. For those who are wondering who the fuck Ahsoka Tano is, who are listening to this because they don't care about spoilers, Ahsoka is Anakin's apprentice from the Clone Wars animated series. His disappointed former apprentice and friend when they clash briefly in Rebels.
Yeah, she's instrumental in bringing the Rebel Alliance together as well.
She's one of the few Jedi who survived Order 66.
Yeah.
She's an icon to Saturday morning cartoon lovers of the previous 15 years who grew up with Clone Wars. And then subsequently Rebels. She's like one of the only prominent female Jedi in either canon, the original or the new one. The series actually goes, yay, Ahsoka, woo, let's celebrate this character.
Yeah, I suppose when you put it like that.
So she's one of those things where when they said Disney taking over, we're changing the canon and simplifying it outside of the movies, people were so relieved to find out that, oh no, Clone Wars still counts. It was like, oh, thank God, because losing Ahsoka would have sucked. There are people out there who are like, where the fuck is Mara Jade? Why is Mara Jade not a thing that exists anymore? Etc.
Mara Jade doesn't exist because she was basically Luke Skywalker's fantasy of his cool space girlfriend.
Yeah, true.
But
in that, wasn't she everyone's fantasy of a cool space girlfriend?
Exactly.
Yeah. Can she show up at some point and just be her own character in the new canon?
Listen, nice. I don't miss Legends. I'm just going to say it. I don't miss it.
Why? Because Legends confirm that Han Solo actually dies in a time tunnel crash where he crashes in a forest and dies. And then Indiana Jones discovers the Falcon as underground as though it's a temple like a couple hundred years later.
That wasn't canon even in Legends.
And Chewie is Bigfoot.
That was like a Star Wars Infinity short.
I know, but it was also a pretty fucking weird, cool bit.
It's great.
Oh, fuck it, we're just going to tell this story. What?
No.
We have the comics rights to Lucasfilm, so technically we could also put Indiana Jones in this story. Done.
In Legends...
Just so we can cash in on that bit in Raiders where you can see R2-D2 and C-3PO in the hieroglyphs.
Listen,
is this the Lucasfilm equivalent of that alien skull showing up in Predator 2?
Yes.
And we're turning it into a thing?
In Legends, Chewbacca was crushed by a moon.
Yeah, he was. Saving people, though. He was saving people. He was being a good egg.
He was crushed. A good egg cracked by a moon. An egg-shaped moon. I don't know what shape it was. It was probably moon-shaped. Or maybe it was space station shaped. That's no space station. That's a moon.
The former great movie ride in Walt Disney World in Florida had a Raiders like diorama that you rode through. And accurately, amongst the hieroglyphs were the 3PO and R2 ones. Which always made me very happy that even they were like, Of course we're going to fucking put these in the right.
Yeah, that's...
Of course we are. We're not going to put them in an obvious spot. But for people who spot them, they're going to feel pretty damn clever, pretty damn, like, chuffed with themselves for noticing. Well done, folks. Maybe one day they'll bring it up on a podcast after the ride is gone.
Yes. Long ago. So, yeah. Mando finally tracks down Ahsoka. She
Jedi.
is going up against a corrupt magistrate.
Is she former Imperial? I think the implication is she either was an Imperial officer or she was a...
No, she wasn't an Imperial officer. She was
she negotiated with them and
yeah, she was a supplier.
Yeah, she was somebody who was like profiting off of the Empire and completely fine with it.
Yeah,
like, yeah, sure.
So
I get my way.
So Ahsoka's going after her. This magistrate's sort of taken a town as hostage on this planet. She basically, Morgan Elsbeth is the character. She strip mines planets for resources and just leaves them husked with their former self.
It's not as sexy as it sounds.
No.
And she's followed around by everyone's second favourite bean.
Yes. Well, I didn't recognise at first.
Me too. I spent the first spent the first half hour going, I know who that is, but I can't quite tell right now.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think it's the hairline and the darker hair.
Well, also you don't.
His hairline's more receded and his hair's darker. And then, like toward the end, I was like, "Oh God, it's Hicks! It's freaking Hicks!" Great inclusion.
Yeah.
Really fun inclusion. The right hand man of the bad guy. He basically gets to be the sort of the henchman of the week.
And a good henchman of the week as well.
Backed up by some creepy ass droid guards as well. Ooh,
they're HK series. So for older Star Wars fans, HK-47 was an assassin droid in the Knights of the Old Republic games, and these are HK-84 units.
All I know is any droid that scuttles up onto rooftops is fucking terrifying. Just the way it kind of like hopped itself up and then pulled its limbs up onto the thing. It was like,
Were they HK-84s? Because if they are, that's going to make me smile because...
Nerd alert. Nerd alert. Nerd alert.
Nerd alert. Nerd alert.
Matt's ready for some happy robot news. He's wearing his Autobots t-shirt right now.
I'm always ready for happy robot news. I think they were HK-84 units because what year did the Terminator come out?
84. That's that's good. And this is one of those teams where you would not put it past them that being a completely intentional decision.
I think they were, but I could be wrong about that. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
So good. So good.
Yeah. Cracking fight scenes, and then
Mando rocks up and he's like, I want to fight a Jedi, and Magistrate thingy's like, alright, go kill the Jedi and I'll give you this Beskar spear, you bitch. And he's like, alright, where's the Jedi? She's over there. Great. Hi, Jedi.
But he doesn't say alright.
Oh, he goes,
because he never agrees to kill her.
That's true. And he goes out there and he's like, hi, I've been looking for you. I've been told to kill you, but I'm not going to. So I've got this little green thing.
I've got this boy.
Who spent most of the episode, now that his cot's been destroyed for a couple of weeks, spent most of the episode just in a sack around Mando's shoulder, just like sat at his hip. Hiding in his cloak.
A little hip papoose.
Hippopoosamus. And yeah, it's
they were HK-87 droids, not HK-47s. I wish they were HK-84s. Sorry, I'd fact check.
No, it's fine. It's okay. I mean, we'll all just quietly judge you now for the rest of the episode.
I'm so sorry I made that mistake.
But then he's like, look, I've been looking for you because I got this child and I think it's one of you because I keep being told to take it back to the Jedi. So Ahsoka sits down and stares at the little puppet for a bit, and then is like, right, so he was trained or was training as a Jedi. He was going to be trained. He was. They don't say the word probably because they don't want to make people go, nah. but
younglings.
it was a youngling. It was left in the Jedi temple on Coruscant, so it was there in the location we're familiar with in the prequels, meaning Yoda probably crossed paths with this thing at some point.
Yeah.
Yoda gets his first name check in this episode as well, because she's like, yeah, I've only ever seen one of its kind before, Jedi Master Yoda, and yeah, it was a Jedi. It was going to be trained to be a Jedi. It started its training because it's got, as we learnt last week, it's got a high M count. Because we can't get rid of that now. That's just what it is. So yeah, she's like, I could train it, but he's been hiding his powers because repressing them has kept it alive and safe and undiscovered. But it only seems to respond to you. So I'm not going to take it in because it has attachments, and I've seen what happens when a powerful Jedi is misled by its loyalty and its attachments to others.
Because
it's like, yeah, she's referencing her master. Yeah, effectively that's what it is. Because the ball bearing from the shuttle lever comes back into play this week and plays a big role. Shift a knob. Give me the knob. Oh wow. Can we talk about the fact that it opened with just an adorable sequence where the child was in a little like crevice in the engines, putting these wires in, and the Mando was trying to as clearly as possible explain, don't touch the red wire to the blue. Just like, it was like 2.5 minutes, and I was just like going, this could be the whole 45 minutes.
That wasn't this episode, was it? That was last episode.
No, it was this one, was it? Because it was oh, you're right.
Yeah, because it was when the ship was busted.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, what was this one? Oh, this one was him on the console, and he was like, "Get seated."
No, this and he looked so miffed, and
he was like, "Oh, no, after the Ahsoka bit, I mean."
Yeah, the cold opened with the Ahsoka.
With two twin bloody white lightsabers from Rebels flying around in the mists. Ahsoka communicates with the child because I guess they can talk in their heads, and we learn what its name is. I'll be honest. It didn't sit right with me at first, but in time, I think we'll all be able to accept the name Guy Fieri Jr. And, the fact that it's referencing something very clearly not in the universe.
To send you to Flavor Town.
In the next series, he's going to get frosted tips and put gel in them to spike them up nice and high.
That I would watch.
That is a baby Yoda I want to see. Grogu!
Little Grogu.
And that was freaking adorable. She's like, Grogu does this, that, the other. And he goes, Grogu? And the child just and just looks up at him in a way he's never sort of looked before. Like, sort of, yeah? And it's so well done by the puppeteers and the direction. Dave Filoni directed this one, didn't he?
Episode in particular is because he's such a central part of the episode is just top notch.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Because you've got to have those whole interactions, because it's the interaction he has with Ahsoka when he hears Mando say his name for the first time, and then again when Mando's trying to get him to move the ball.
Yeah.
Oh
God, yeah.
And sort of interact with him in that way. It's just some really top notch puppeteering in this. And,
so sweet.
It's like that puppeteering team is basically another principal cast member. It's like, if you look at this show, one of the really interesting things about it is the two principal characters of Mando and Grogu are both
a faceless lead whose expressions we never see, whose entire character is acted out through just tilts of the head or gestures of the arms.
The interesting thing about them, though, is not that. It's that they're both performances that are made as team efforts.
Yes,
because there's three. Because there's.
I was going to say because we don't have any human eyes to look at all with our two central leads, but you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
They are leads. They're Megazords.
Yeah,
a team of people make them move.
Because there's three people in the Mando suit, including Pedro Pascal, who does the voice.
Some of the work.
I think he does a lot more work in it this season because a big part of the reason he wasn't in the suit a lot in the first season.
Union rights and equity. They say if you don't show up for at least 5 days, then they can dock your pay by half. Oh shit! Bring me the talcum powder.
I believe the main reason he wasn't in the suit quite a lot on season 1 was because he's had scheduling conflicts, but he really wanted to do the show. So it just
what would the conflicts have been with? I guess it would have been with the upcoming Robert Rodriguez kids film, the Netflix film.
No, maybe he was doing a bunch because he was doing Wonder Woman 84 as well.
The backdoor Shark Boy and Lava Girl sequel.
He was doing all sorts of shit. He's in demand at the moment. So I believe he's in the suit a lot more this season, but I couldn't say. Who knows? Unless you're actually on the set,
we won't know
knows?
till the Gallery Series 2 how much of the series was made during initial lockdown. But I imagine at least a few weeks worth of work were done during the first lockdown in LA in the summer.
But of course, I mean that's the sort of joy of the performance, and it being a composite performance of multiple people, and then on the Grogu side, it's the team of puppeteers and the CG artists who tweak it and all that kind of thing. Is that you can't tell who's in the suit?
No,
because they all work together to make it consistent, and that's what's really impressive about it. So I think that sort of, but yeah, it's like you say that there's no face on for the main protagonist, and his sort of sidekick / son is a puppet.
Yeah,
and yet they're so emotive.
Sorry, what was that, Brian Connolly? Could you just confirm?
No, I'm not doing a Brian Connolly.
Fair enough.
I'm not doing it. Only 90s kids will remember. You can hear it in your head. I know you can. And if you don't, it doesn't matter, does it? Don't worry about it.
Welcome back to Big Damn Brian Connolly cast this week.
So yeah, I think
we're going to talk about how he weirdly looks like Bradley Walsh.
Yes.
Have you ever seen, because there was that running thing for years, have you ever seen the two of them in a room together, and then like 4 or 5 years ago they took a photo together to be like, see? We're separate people. All right, okay, we believe you. For now. Now.
So yeah, I think the season of the Mando's really been going from strength to strength. And this episode kind of takes the sort of space western flair and brings it back to the roots of Star Wars as a whole by giving it a sort of samurai flavour, which harkens back to, you know, the original Star Wars' roots in things like Hidden Fortress and Seven Samurai and all that kind of thing. And the sort of casting Ahsoka as this sort of Ronin character, sort of a wandering,
traveling the universe, righting wrongs where she can.
Which it again is in contrast to Mando as that character, but the sort of Western archetype version.
Righting wrongs to get a payday or a favour. Yeah.
But always doing the right thing because that's who he is. So yeah, great action set pieces in this. Some really lovely world building and some payoffs and teases for the fans. We got when we find out who Ahsoka's looking for info on from Elspeth, and it's
Grand
Thrawn.
Admiral Thrawn.
Because again, I haven't seen all of Rebels, so I'm only aware of this from looking it up. But Rebels apparently ends with Ahsoka and Sabine looking for Thrawn because Thrawn disappears with Ezra.
Yeah.
So this would imply that they're still looking for him.
Yeah.
Which again, and also Sabine's not around.
That we know of.
But is
Sabine, of course, being a descendant of Mandalore.
Yeah.
And a Mandalorian.
Also an ally of Bo-Katan.
Yes. Yeah.
Because she gave Bo-Katan the Darksaber.
Which has been taken by Moff Gideon.
Yeah. So it really does sort of it's tying into Rebels in some really interesting ways, but also I'm not sure that we're going to get the answers to a lot of those questions on this show, but it sort of
Well, they've already been talking about maybe this was a backdoor pilot for an ASHOKA Tano featured spin-off series, to which I'm
Yeah.
like, think carefully about that. Think carefully about who you cast in your lead roles when you go forward on that one, guys.
Yeah.
Because as good an actor as Rosario is, Rosario's got some horrid shit going on in her life that may not warrant being the lead of a Disney show. Do we have to touch on the fact that Gina Carano is now someone that a lot of Mandalorian fans are going, do we have to see Cara Dune again?
Yeah.
Do we really have to see Cara Dune again?
Yeah.
But yeah, so
there is that. But on the whole, it continues to be a great show, and I am overjoyed when I get to see it every Saturday morning, and saddened when I finish the episode that there's only 3 more left to go.
Yeah, God, yeah. Be over before Christmas. And then what are you going to watch on Christmas Day?
Well, not Revolution of the Daleks, that's for sure.
No, apparently not, yeah. No. That's for next year, boys and girls. But,
I think they should have put it on at midnight, so it was... so it really was late 2020, early 2021. That would have been perfect. Why didn't they do that? Well, because of the BBC and their cowards!
Have you seen the BBC schedule for 23rd, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, New Year's Eve, and New Year's Day?
I've seen it floating around, but I've not paid any attention to it because fuck the BBC.
It looks like they asked an algorithm to come up with the ideal schedule.
Oh, God.
Like, we're talking a shitload of DreamWorks movies and a few Disney Pixars intercut with all of those animated specials that like one animation British company does for them all the bleeding time, intercut with compilation shows of their panel shows themed to Christmas. It's just like the only thing on any of the schedules I'm excited about is the Ghosts Christmas special. That's the only thing I'm like, yes, give me that. I will devour it.
It's been a long time since I've been excited about Christmas programming. So
it just seems very odd to be like, we've got Moana, we've got Coco. It's like, oh great, cool. Do you know what 90% of your audience have got? Disney Plus. They can watch it today. But you don't have Madagascar 1 and Madagascar 2. Don't want it. Thanks.
No,
don't
thanks.
want it.
No, cheers.
Don't need that in my life.
But what we do have is another week ahead of us for you to get in touch and let us know what you think about the stuff we've talked about today, stuff we should talk about in the future, and just, how you doing. Check in. And you can do that by emailing us.
Let us know if you want an M&M.
No, don't want an M&M. Email us on bigdamcontact@gmail.com and let us know if you want an M&M and what kind of M&M you in fact want. Do people want M&Ms that can be installed nasally? You can also tweet us on @BigDamnCast. Don't forget to head over to twitch.tv/BigDamnStream for our regular streams. And yeah, if you do find yourself with a little bit of pocket change and you want to throw us a little bit of dosh, you can do that over at patreon.com/BigDamnCast. But all that said, we must now away.
We must leave you.
And leave you for another week. So, take care of yourselves. Don't be Lawrence Fox. And yeah, bye.
Bye. May the Force be with Guy Fieri Jr.
Grogu forever.